Vivien Leigh was born Vivien Mary Hartley on November 5, 1913, into a privileged Anglo-Indian family that valued education, culture, and refinement. Her father, Ernest Hartley, was a British broker, while her mother, Gertrude Yakchi, encouraged artistic expression from an early age. Vivien's childhood was spent across Europe in convent schools in France, Italy, and Germany, where she developed a cosmopolitan sensibility, discipline, and fluency in multiple languages. These formative years shaped her poise, elegance, and emotional sensitivity. Even as a young girl, she showed a deep love for literature and performance, reciting poetry and excelling in school plays. Determined to become an actress, she enrolled at London's Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. Although her formal training was brief, it instilled in her a lifelong commitment to craft, precision, and emotional truth on stage and screen. Meteoric rise and the weight of fame. Vivien Leigh's rise to international stardom came with astonishing speed. Her casting as Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind in 1939 transformed her overnight into a global icon. At the time, choosing a British actress to portray a Southern American heroine was controversial, but Leigh's performance silenced all doubt. She brought fierce intelligence, vulnerability, and emotional depth to Scarlett, creating one of cinema's most enduring characters. The role earned her an Academy Award and placed her among Hollywood's elite. Yet fame came with an enormous burden. Leigh was suddenly under constant scrutiny, expected to embody perfection both on and off screen. While audiences saw glamour and confidence, behind the scenes she faced intense pressure to maintain an image that left little room for personal struggle, rest, or emotional instability. Laurence Olivier and A Love That Burned Bright. One of the most defining relationships of Vivien Leigh's life was her romance with Laurence Olivier. They met while working on Fire Over England in 1937 and quickly formed a powerful emotional and artistic bond. At the time, both were married, and their affair caused public scandal. After long and painful legal processes, they divorced their spouses and married in 1940. Together, Leigh and Olivier became the embodiment of theatrical royalty, dazzling audiences in Shakespearean productions such as Hamlet, Macbeth, and Antony and Cleopatra. Their creative chemistry was undeniable, and critics praised their shared performances. Yet the same intensity that fueled their artistic brilliance also made their private life volatile. Their marriage was passionate, ambitious, and deeply intertwined with professional pressures. Artistic triumphs beyond a single role. Although Gone with the Wind defined Vivien Leigh in the public imagination, and her career extended far beyond Scarlett O'Hara. In 1951, she delivered another landmark performance as Blanche Dubois in A Streetcar Named Desire, a role that mirrored her own emotional fragility. Her portrayal was haunting, layered, and devastatingly honest, earning her a second Academy Award. On stage, Leigh continued to prove her range with acclaimed performances in Titus Andronicus, The Skin of Our Teeth, and Tovarich, the latter winning her a Tony Award in 1963. She possessed the rare ability to move seamlessly between classical theater and intimate film acting. Each performance revealed her extraordinary emotional access, reinforcing her reputation as one of the greatest actresses of the 20th century. Mental illness and the hidden struggle. Behind Vivien Leigh's luminous performances was a lifelong battle with bipolar disorder, a condition poorly understood and heavily stigmatized during her era. Her illness manifested through extreme mood swings, periods of boundless energy, and crushing depressions that disrupted both her personal life and career. These episodes strained her marriage to Olivier and often forced her to withdraw from productions. At a time when mental health support was limited, Leigh was frequently misunderstood rather than treated with compassion. Despite this, she worked tirelessly, often performing through exhaustion and emotional pain, Her illness did not diminish her talent, but it demanded a heavy price. Leigh's struggle highlights the profound cost of genius when mental health is ignored, minimized, or treated without true understanding. Physical illness and emotional loss. In addition to her mental health challenges, Vivien Leigh suffered from chronic physical illness. During World War II, she contracted tuberculosis while volunteering, a disease that would quietly undermine her health for decades. Though she returned to work, the illness never fully left her body. A devastating miscarriage in the mid-1940s further deepened her emotional pain, triggering severe depression and worsening her condition. These compounded losses left Leigh physically weakened and emotionally vulnerable. Yet she continued to perform with astonishing discipline, often hiding her suffering from audiences and colleagues alike. Her resilience was remarkable, but it also meant she rarely allowed herself the rest or care she truly needed, further accelerating the toll on her body and spirit. The marriage under unbearable pressure. As years passed, the marriage between Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier began to fracture under the combined weight of illness, fame, and emotional exhaustion. Olivier struggled to cope with Leigh's unpredictable episodes, while his own ambitions and absences added distance between them. Though there was genuine love, the relationship became increasingly unsustainable. Leigh's need for stability clashed with Olivier's desire for normalcy and professional focus. Over time, compassion turned into fatigue, and intimacy gave way to frustration. Their separation was not the result of a single betrayal or secret, but of years spent battling forces neither fully understood nor controlled. The divorce marked the end of a legendary partnership, both romantic and artistic, leaving lasting scars on them both. Leigh's reflections on the divorce. In later years, Vivien Leigh privately acknowledged that her illness played a central role in the collapse of her marriage. She did not blame Olivier outright, nor did she absolve herself entirely. Instead, she recognized that the era's limited understanding of mental health left both of them unprepared. Leigh understood that love alone could not sustain a relationship under constant emotional turbulence. Her reflections were marked by sadness rather than bitterness. She remained deeply attached to Olivier, even after their separation, and spoke of him with admiration. These quiet confessions reveal a woman capable of profound self-awareness, who understood that her greatest enemy was not betrayal or ambition, but an illness that neither she nor her husband had the tools to manage. Final years and quiet companionship. After her divorce, Vivien Leigh's life became more secluded. Though she never remarried, she found companionship and care with actor Jack Merivale, who offered patience and stability in her later years. Her health continued to decline, and her appearances became less frequent. Leigh's final film, Ship of Fools in 1965, was widely praised, proving that her talent remained undiminished. However, tuberculosis returned aggressively, weakening her body beyond recovery. Despite fading from public view, she remained devoted to her craft and grateful for the love she received from those closest to her. Her final years were marked not by scandal, but by a quiet endurance shaped by dignity and resilience. Death, legacy, and a deeper truth. Vivien Leigh passed away on July 8, 1967, at the age of 53. Her death marked the loss of a singular talent, whose brilliance was inseparable from her vulnerability. Today, her legacy is richer and more complex than the glamorous image once projected. Leigh was not merely a tragic figure or a cinematic icon. She was a woman who gave everything to her art while paying an extraordinary personal price. Her story sheds light on the hidden struggles behind greatness and the devastating impact of untreated mental illness. In understanding the truth behind her divorce from Laurence Olivier, we gain not scandal, but compassion. Vivien Leigh remains a testament to beauty, brilliance, and the urgent need for empathy behind the spotlight.